TV, the story behind small business and entrepreneurs. Today, we're talking about the emerging power of the 21st century woman. And join me is Suzy Jacobs. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Sean. Great to be here.
So, Suzy, we're talking about women. Let's start with, why do you only have women-only networking groups?
It's funny you asked that, because I've been asked that question a lot over the last month or so.
And let me reframe this. Sorry.
Sure.
Suzy's
I was going to say something.
And she's an inspiring and influential founder of SheBusiness Group, which is a women's-only group. And that's really why we're talking about the emergence of women in the 21st century. And I'm excited about this topic because it's engaging, it's dynamic, it's threatening, it's scary, but it's so empowering at the same time.
Well, I think it needs to be a robust discussion. I think it's not about us versus them. It's not about gender equality. It's about gender diversity. It's about the diversity of the world and creating great conversations around this. And what I find sometimes is people say, well, that's really sexist to have a women-only group.
I feel left out.
Well, you might feel left out. Now you know how we've felt for all these years.
Is that what it is?
But it's actually got nothing to do with that. So, I've always said that if you're going to just have women come together, eating cheese and biscuits and drinking wine, there's not a lot of point to it. Why not network? Why not connect and have community with men? Agree?
Yes.
If, however, you create an environment which allows women to explore what it means to be a woman in the 21st century, with the combining roles of running a business, working, having a family, looking after older family and older generations, looking after themselves, it's a really wide spectrum of things that we are potentially responsible for. And we can choose whether we want those roles or not.
Okay.
And I think that rather than just having sort of black and white view of life, we should be able to create great discussions around these.
I agree. And that's what we're having here today, discussion around. So, women-only networking groups, why is it important?
Because we need places where we can have kind of robust discussion about it. So, for instance... Without men, because there are issues that, it's not anti-men, but there are issues that we want to be able to discuss about our changing role in the world.
Okay.
And how is it, if you take it, an entrepreneur who starts working from home, and
I was going to say, do women have different challenges to men? Is
absolutely.
That a lot of what it is? Like, it's just different circumstances, different understanding.
Different experience of life.
100%.
And you can't argue with that. You cannot say that men and women have the same experience of life.
No.
For women, if they're starting out in a business, they tend to be the secondary breadwinner because their partner's out there already in a job.
Which is changing, but yeah, traditionally.
But when you start up a business, you tend to be a secondary breadwinner.
Always,
yes? You're at home. You might have young kids. So the majority of our members have left the corporate arena. They have young kids. They start a business. They work from home. Great. Then they find themselves being mother, domestic help, and business owner. Okay. So how do you create real financial independence? How do you create a successful business when you start then taking on these multiple roles?
Yes.
Is there a discussion to have about how we see ourselves and the way we view ourselves that's going to help you define what part of that you want to take on, what part you want to outsource to somebody else, what part your partner should play in that combination of roles?
Yes.
When should they hang out the washing? Should they do the shopping? All those sorts of things. Because what happens is that women end up doing it all at home.
Okay.
And then they put their financial future in jeopardy because they're not investing enough time in the growth of their business. And that becomes a problem. Now, there's no glass ceiling. There's no man. There's no boss. There's no line manager above us saying, you must do this.
Yeah.
So then it becomes about how we view ourselves.
All right.
And there's a discussion and something to investigate there. How do we see ourselves? How do we see our role in society?
That's a very good way. I enjoy that. I think that's important. And I hope men out there aren't stopping women from having that discussion with themselves and other women out there. And I think there's a power to having an emerging power being women in business, in workplace, and in small business. Because a lot of women run small businesses from home.
Huge amount. It's a growth industry. The majority of businesses now being opened by women. And for the majority of them, they're opening up at home.
Yes.
So, and I don't think it's a matter of men stopping the conversation, but you know, if we look at, I would say what we've got now, which is quite a kind of a masculine economy. It's been dominated by men. Nothing wrong with that, just the way it is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So how can it change?
By women looking at their approach to business.
Okay.
So when we research, and in fact the Australian Women's Chamber of Commerce and Industry conducted some research a couple of years back.
Okay.
They found that women go into business because they want to be able to have the flexibility, the independence, they want to live with passion and purpose,
Yes.
they want to be able to impact their community.
Okay.
All great reasons.
Absolutely.
Tend to be quite different to the reasons that men go into business. Men, for a start, were primary breadwinners, so it was all about earning money. They're all great things, and they're wonderful things to influence our broader economy, and they should be explored and go, wow, that could really add value to our world and to our economy. However, if too far down the list of priorities is financial success,
yes,
that's also
concerning.
yeah. So we've got to kind of look at them, weigh them up, and go, yeah, they're great things to be doing, and you also want to be making sure that your financial future is secure, because otherwise you're not going to be any better off than the 1950s housewife who was, connected to her husband by the apron strings.
So how do you, and what do you think is the most important thing for women to empower themselves and their community?
For anyone, not just women, is education, is self-awareness, is knowledge, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And one of the things that as I said, for me, it's the discussion. So to have the freedom to explore this change in our roles and the change in the way our world works is probably most important. So having a forum where ideas are being exchanged.
Okay. And I guess a lot of that you do at She Business.
Sure.
And you involve women, and we've had some great She Business speakers on this VillageTV already. I'm curious, what role do you think men?
I think once again an ability to sit back and be willing to listen and to learn. You know, I don't know if you remember, you're probably too young, but back in the 80s and 90s, we used to talk about hard skills and soft skills, and women generally had the soft skills. You know, they were good at the interpersonal stuff, the relationship building, but there was also a bit of a derogatory feel about one was kind of more important than the other. The hard skills is really where business was, and the soft skills were nice, but you know.
But that's changing. I mean, these days everyone talks about you have to have the soft skills in business. You have to do everything the right way, and women have a lot of those skills. Not saying men don't, but women are very good at it.
Yeah. So it's about influencing our economy and the world that we live in, and allowing women to step into that space and imprint their particular approach to business on the way we do business already, and see where the mixture leads us, because I think it would lead to greater balance and greater success for everyone involved.
Totally agree. I think complementary skills often, that's what it comes down to, and I've always found I enjoy working with women because there's so many things that I struggle with that some of them do so easily and so naturally. And I mean, even as men or women, I think we have to find people who just complement you across the board, skill-wise.
Absolutely. And I think because, and once again, no, this is no judgment, but because men have kind of owned that business space, why women only is just to give us the space to build that confidence, build that, explore that, so we can really go out there on a large scale and imprint that. And there are some women who are less confident about those things, perhaps don't have the support of their partner.
Yes.
Their partner either wants them to stay at home, wants them to go out and get a job, doesn't support their business ventures. Having somewhere that they can come and actually get that what they're doing is important, and also giving them the business skills and the support to take their business forward is important.
So in She Business, you spoke a lot about the education. Obviously, you run a lot of groups, women groups across Sydney and Australia. helping business women emerge. What do you think are the big steps that She Business takes into supporting those women?
I think that if we look at the things that women are great at, that passion, that community, that sense of purpose,
yes.
They're great things, and you need to make a business make sense. It has to make money.
So you give the steps through cash flow, structures, tools.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, you're not taught that at school. You might have a degree, but you're not really taught how to run a business.
It's classic. I was speaking to a woman yesterday, successful doctor, and she started up a business, and she's kind of, there's a part of her which thinks, but I'm a successful doctor, I should be able to run this business.
Yeah.
They're different. They're
Totally.
just different skills.
Yeah.
And just saying, that role of CEO requires really different skills, and you want to embrace that because this is your financial future at risk. So I think that we do the business part of it really well, and we've teamed up with people who are business consultants, strategists, have that experience, and are really going in there, looking at businesses, making sure people understand how they generate revenue, what their business model is, how they grow their business, business value, all that sort of stuff.
Fantastic. And for yourself, where do you see She Business going with women and women in community? Because I think women have this amazing connection to communities that men, I don't think, will ever have. Yeah. Which is what I really love about how women integrate their businesses. It's not just about their business, which often men focus on. It's about the whole community, which they do so well. Where do you see the emerging power of women taking us?
I think it'll be a combination of technology, so the fact that we can just have far greater flexibility in the way we work, which allows people to stay within that community. So once upon a time, we'd all have to congregate in the city.
Yes.
Now we can stay in our communities.
Yes.
That means that we can, wouldn't it be interesting if the disintegration of communities that have happened at a personal level are being rebuilt because people are working from home or working in satellite places rather than coming into big cities?
Absolutely.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's I think that excited about it.
Absolutely.
So I think that that would be a benefit that I would love to see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Suzy, thank you so much for your time. I love exploring the whole woman in business and that emerging power and how we can harness it a lot more. And I think She Business plays a huge role in Australia in supporting women who want to get into business or are in business and want to grow their business to the next level. And I think there's a very important place for women in the business community, and not enough women, stand out enough and should be proud of what they're actually doing in the community. So thank you for making that happen. I think it's such a great effort. So if women out there who are in business and want to take the next step, how do they find out more about She Business and how they can play a greater role?
Thanks, Sean. They can go visit our website, shebusiness.com, and they can call us. There's a phone number there. They can check out our Facebook page, SheBusinessAustralia. They can find us on Twitter. They can find me personally at Suzy Jacobs, SUZY Jacobs, or at she_biz. Just Google us.
Yeah,
and most importantly, pick up a phone. Let us know you're out there. We may not be the people that you want to work with, but we'll direct you in the place that you are. Like, we're just a great resource.
Very much.
And we are all about the economic empowerment of women, however that unfolds.
And I got to say, the beautiful thing is that you have little hubs in different areas across Sydney as well.
Yep.
And so you can connect with like-minded women in your neighborhood, community-wise. So pick up a phone, as Suzy said, connect with She Business and the community there. It's been great, Suzy, having you on VillageTV. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to connecting with everyone later.
Thanks, Sean.
Cheers for now.